Well, if you thought that was the end of the cream cheese recipes, no! Here's another one. Paprika cream cheese burger rice. Quite delicious. Inside is some ground meat and onions and lots of paprika, rice. And then on top we've got, and the cream cheese, let's not forget that. On top of that we've got panko breadcrumbs and lots of cheddar cheese. Throw it in the oven. It's all cooked in one pot. How nice is that? And fantastic for winter. So, let's go to the kitchen and make some of this right now. For our paprika cream cheese burger rice, here are the ingredients. Now, across the back here, well, of course, the rice. That's 3 cups of cooked rice. Over here I've got 1 pound or 450 grams of ground meat. Now again, this could be any kind of ground meat, but I like to use a mixture of beef and pork. I just find the pork adds so much flavor. Also, it's a little bit cheaper than just beef. And over here we've got 8 ounces or 230 grams of cheddar cheese grated, 2 onions chopped. Here I've got 8 ounces or 230 grams of cream cheese, and that's been sitting out at room temperature, so it's, it'll break up easier when we add it into here. It's already softened up a bit. Now across the front here, well, I've got 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. So any breadcrumbs will work, but if you can get the panko breadcrumbs, they're already pre-made, and I hear that they're available in most countries now, so that's great. They do come from Japan, and they're just basically breadcrumbs, all pre-made. Over here, I've got 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 cup of paprika, and that's our main flavor in this dish. And then over here, I've got 1/2 cup of white wine. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is we've got the big cast iron pot or any oven-proof pot because it's going to go in the oven afterwards. So I've got the cast iron pot. I'm going to bring that up to heat at medium. And what I'm going to do is add in the olive oil. Now what we want to do is bring that olive oil, basically I want to bring the pan up to heat because cast iron takes a little bit time, but I want fragrance coming off the olive oil. Once I get that smell coming off the olive oil, I know it's heated up and it's ready to go. All right, that fragrance coming off there now, that's ready to go. Let's get the onions in here. So what I'm going to do is add the onions in. I'm going to cook these onions, stirring them every once in a while for about 5 minutes. I just want to soften them up a little bit. I don't need to brown them or anything. I just soften them, so about 5 minutes is good. So I'll see you back here in 5 minutes. All right, so the onions softened up a little bit. Let's add the ground meat. Get all that in there. And I want to add to that the paprika and the salt. And now, don't get so aggressive. Stir that in. Stir that in. And I'm just going to be stirring for a while here. I'm going to cook this for about 10 minutes. I don't need to really brown it that much, just a little bit. Basically, I just want to cook it up a bit. And then we're going to be ready to add in the rice and other goodies here. All right, so I'll see you back here in 10 minutes. All right, look at that. A little bit of browning happening there. This meat's cooked and ready to go. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to add in this white wine. Ooh, that sounds good. Just deglaze anything that's on the bottom. So just kind of push around a bit, make sure there's nothing left stuck to the bottom. In this case, actually, there isn't, so that's great. All right. So if there is, you just want to get that off because that's a lot of flavor sitting in there. And now, in goes the cream cheese. What I'm going to do with that cream cheese, I want to break it up in here. I want it to melt. So the more we break it up, the easier it is to melt. All right, that is basically all melted and mixing in. A little piece there. All right, mixing in there nicely. Getting nice and creamy. So what I want to do now, add in the rice. Come on, sticky Japanese rice. Get out of there. All right, now with the rice, now I just turn the heat off. And let's just break it up in here. So if you're using Western rice, it's probably not going to be as much of a chore for breaking it up. Our Japanese rice is quite sticky, so it takes a bit more to get it all mixed in. Just kind of chopping and mixing in the liquid until we've got a nice mixture there. This is hot. All right, so once I've got that mixed in, just smooth this all out here. Create a nice level surface because we're going to put the cheese on top of here. And that looks pretty good. So now, the panko and the cheese. First I like to put some panko down. Just kind of spreading it all over the place so it gets into all across the surface quite evenly. And then over top of that, the cheese. So I just want to spread that around. All right, so I've got my oven over there preheating at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. This is going to go in there for 15 to 18 minutes, just until we got it bubbling on top of the cheese, a little bit of browning, just a little golden happening, and then it's going to be perfect. So I'll see you back here when this comes out of the oven. All right, so that's been in the oven for just a little bit over 15 minutes, about 15 and a half minutes. And look at that. Beautiful golden color around there is bubbling inside. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. All right, if you like this recipe, stick around on the channel and check it out. There's a lot more original Kevin Riley recipes on the Kuma's Kitchen channel, and there's a ton of them. So go check those out, and also make sure you subscribe because every Monday there's a new original recipe coming out. And if I do say so myself, well, they are pretty good. So stick around, check those out. Also, if you're not yet a patron of Kuma's Kitchen, please consider becoming one, because not only does that support Kuma's Kitchen and make sure we can keep making these and shooting these videos for you, but also there's all kinds of cool stuff in the Patreon feed for patrons only. And you can get in there for as little as $3 a month. All right, now go make this easy to make. Throw it in the oven, have it tonight. And make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.